Hi, internet friends. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, internet friends. Wow. If you're new here and this is your first introduction to me, hello, hello, hello. Welcome. I'm ASMR Remedy. If you're old here, welcome back. Thank you for being here. You guys, it's been months. If you're old here, you know it's been months since I've posted. I feel nervous. I feel a little bit nervous. I'm really glad to be back. I've been thinking about filming and kind of coming back for months, which is a conversation perhaps for another video, but I'm glad to be here. I'm drinking a glass of orange juice. I'm having some muscle soreness, and a friend told me that orange juice would help. So that's what I'm drinking tonight. It's about 8:30 p.m. on a Monday. It is Christmas Eve. So, I obviously don't know, I've said this before, and I used to say this in my intro, but I post new content whenever my schedule / mental, whenever I can, but I don't have a schedule. I don't know how often I'll post, but I really want to make a concerted effort to post more because I really miss this community. And what finally sort of inspired me actually to just finally get it together and post again are two of my lovely friends here in the ASMR community. Mauve, who actually tagged me in this tag. Mauve, if you're watching, thank you for tagging me and helping to inspire me to film again. And my other friend, Kristen Shaw. Kristen, if you're watching, hey girl. Kristen recently mentioned me in her favorite ASMR artists video, and I think she said something to the effect of like, I know you're busy and you haven't posted a while, but when you do post, I'll be on the edge of my seat. So I hope you're on the edge of your seat, girl. Anyways, I'm here today to do the end of year reflections tag, or it's called something like that, and I think ASMR October started this, but like I said, Mauve tagged me in it, so here we are. There are 12 questions. 12 questions. I didn't really think too much about them. I wrote them out on a little notepad, but I didn't really think too much about my answers, so we're going to be kind of rolling off the cuff. I also plan on, for sure, next week doing my 5 favorite and 5 least favorite films of the year, because you guys know how I am about movies, and I've watched a lot this year. So anyways, without further ado, here are my end of year reflections. So question 1 / the January question is, how did you start the year? What were your hopes or resolutions? So, I started this year. Wow, it's been a long year, guys. Oh my God, I feel like Noah Khan. It's been a long year. All of our book pages dog-eared. Do you guys know that song? Everywhere, everything. Anywho's, how did I start the year? I started the year in my final semester of law school. My final semester of law school, and my hopes and resolutions were to finish law school, graduate, take the bar, pass the bar, become a licensed attorney. Those are my big hopes and resolutions, and get a decent job working as an attorney. Those were really my hopes and resolutions. I also started January in this apartment. I moved into this apartment, I think, on December 26th, maybe December 24th. It was like right around Christmas. So I sort of started this year with everything in boxes and in a brand new space. In my last apartment, was in a very dangerous neighborhood. So I kind of started the year with some safety and hopes of kind of making my place my own and just like being in a better physical space. But also most of my hopes and resolutions were in connection with taking care of my mental health and kind of finishing law school and finishing strong, which we'll get to those hopes and resolutions and how everything panned out shortly. Number two, February. What moment or experience in February stood out the most? I have a February birthday. I am an Aquarius. My birthday is February 6th, 2-6. That makes me an Aquarius. So I think the moment kind of that stood out the most is I had like a birthday dinner this year, and I had like some of my friends and some cousins, and just like I think there were like 8 of us, 9, maybe 8 to 10 of us. A couple friends came in from out of town, and we went to a nice dinner, and then we came back to my apartment and just like played games and hung out. And I don't really have a friend group. All my friends are kind of from different places, like some friends from law school, some friends from undergrad, from college, some past like coworkers, cousins, things like that. So I don't really hang out with like groups of people. I usually will hang out with friends like one-on-one or that kind of thing. So it was really cool to just have a whole group of people together and to just like get to play games and just enjoy that kind of company. So that really stands out to me, and that was kind of just like a special moment. Question number 3. What did you accomplish or learn this month? So what did I accomplish or learn in March? Well, what did I accomplish and learn in March? I definitely had like some midterms or whatever. My spring break was in March, but I don't think I went anywhere for spring break. I think I just worked. I think I just bartended. What did I accomplish or learn? Oh, I think in March, I had my character and fitness interview for the bar exam, which character and fitness briefly is just like this super, super extensive high-level background check that they conduct on all, future lawyers who are applying to take the bar. It's basically where they make sure that you have the character and like the moral fitness to be permitted to sit for the bar. And you get like interviewed. It's a background check and then an interview with, an assigned attorney. And it's pretty nerve-wracking, and it's basically where they decide if you're fit to take the bar. So I think I had that. I actually had a total of 3 character and fitness interviews, which is not the norm. Not because I'm not fit, but if you guys want to hear that story, if anybody watching is like in law school or like cares about that kind of thing, let me know, and I'll definitely do a character and fitness story time. But I think March was when I got like officially approved to sit for the bar, if I remember correctly. My cat is like demanding attention. Number 4, did you experience any turning points or surprises? I know I was kind of taking final exams during this period. Also, sorry that all of my answers are about law school. It's just was like my whole life for years. And everything this year was just kind of like connected to that. But I think I started taking most of my final exams during this time. Turning points or surprises, I don't think there was anything surprising, but it did feel like a really big turning point mentally because I was sort of starting to shift out of law school mode and into bar prep mode. And those are very different kind of modalities and just like ways of life and routine types of things. I also remember being like shocked and horrified at the amount of, sorry, I think the plane is gone. It was very, very loud. I was very shocked and horrified at the amount of like fees and things I had to pay for, like pertaining to the bar. So that was kind of a struggle, but yeah, April, I don't know. This year's been kind of a blur. It's hard to remember like specific things that happened. So I don't know. I guess, yeah, the turning point was just like shifting out of like, kind of finishing up law school and like moving on from that, although I still don't feel totally moved on from that, if that makes sense. I don't know if you've done grad school or any kind of similar program, you probably know what I mean. Okay, number five. Sorry, I'm out of practice. I keep forgetting to do hand movements and stuff, so please be patient with me. Number 5, what personal or professional milestone did you hit in May? This one's easy. Again, you guys, I graduated from law school. So if you recall at the beginning of the video, my hopes or resolutions, number 1, finish and graduate law school. And I did it. I graduated from law school. Actually, if I remember, I'll put a photo here in my cap and gown with my diploma, because it's hard to remember sometimes already, but like that's so far the greatest thing I've ever accomplished in my life. So it just like doesn't feel real. It's hard to I don't know, it's hard to contend with that, and the fact that school's really over. I actually have like a weird sadness about it, but that's just me being like a little insane. Personal and professional milestone. Yeah, I graduated from law school and I started studying full-time for the bar exam. The best part of graduating from school was, of course, like the ceremony and just like being up on the stage, and like I was beaming. Again, if I remember, I'll put a little video clip of me up on the stage. But also it was just having my family there. So most of my family, I've talked about this before, most of my family does not live in the same city where I live. So I don't get to see my family often, and I come from sort of like a split family. So meaning like my family's from different parts of town, like they kind of came from different places, and also like I come from a divorced family, so it's very rare for everyone to all be together, and like with my friends and stuff too. So it was really special to have everyone to come together. And I think it was the day before my actual ceremony, I had like a little graduation party get together that I kind of threw for myself because I wanted one and no one was going to throw me one, so I made it happen. And that was just really special. Number 6. How did you celebrate or embrace the halfway point of the year? Well, again, I was studying full-time during the entire summer, and there wasn't a lot of celebrating going on. I was kind to myself, and what I will say is, like, in embracing the halfway point of the year, my kind of thought was like, the hard part is mostly over, which didn't really end up being true. But that's how I felt at the time, was like, okay, I finished school, I'm halfway done studying for the bar, like once I take the bar, everything will be better. Spoiler alert, it was not, but yeah, so I was just sort of like embracing, the kind of moment I was in, and just thinking like, I've been putting in all this hard work, I'm in the home stretch, like that's kind of where my mind was at in June. Number 7. Number 7, what adventure or fun experience defined your summer? I really didn't have fun experiences. I did get to lay by a pool a couple of times, either doing flashcards or like reading a book for pleasure. I did do some reading this summer. I do distinctly remember having a couple of days where I just like went to the park and like got a coffee and a pastry and just like laid in the grass and that like just enjoyed the air. Listened to a lot of music, listened to a lot of podcasts. So I mean, not like a traditional summer fun, summer lovin', but yeah, whenever I had kind of like free time, I spent that just being still and slow and quiet and just like enjoying the world around me and grounding myself as much as I could. So that's kind of how July went for me. Number 8, what did you focus on as summer ended and routine returned? Okay, so this is August. This is kind of when everything kind of hit the fan and got really, really hard for me. It's also around the time when I stopped posting. So, I do want to talk about mental health in another video, in a more sort of like broad, general kind of way, but essentially things got really, really difficult for me in the month of August, just being candid with you guys. And I think a lot of that is because it's like I've spent the last 4 years of my life working toward this, right? Working toward, getting through school and kind of on this like adrenaline high of like, okay, finish this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and then, so on and so forth. And once I took the bar, most of you guys probably know this, you wait 6 to 8 weeks to get your results. So it's like you do all of this and all of a sudden nothing. There's no payoff for this huge thing that you work for and you work toward. It's over, and then you're just full of doubt because bar passage rates, like it's common for people to fail. It's very common for people to fail. It's very common for people to fail. Something like 30% of people fail the bar, like on the first try. And that's a big number, 30%, like that's just a lot. Like for context, that's like 50 people out of my graduating class, potentially. So, graduating class of law school. So I definitely fell into, just like a horrible anxiety. I was honestly into like a depression. I couldn't get out of bed. I just didn't want to do things. I just felt horrible about myself. I took 2 weeks off, before I went back to work. But during that time off, I just felt bad about myself. I felt guilty. I just was not being nice to myself, and I was not in a good place. And most of a lot of my friends were feeling that way too. And to be frank, I talked about this before too, I didn't make a lot of friends in law school. And part of that is because I had a really, non-traditional type of experience. And I worked multiple jobs, and I also am not like a very social person. I mean, I don't go to social events or things like that. Those types of things are really hard for me. So I'm pretty introverted. Obviously I can talk a lot, but I don't like to put myself into big social settings. So anyways, I didn't have a lot of people to rely on, and it was hard too because my friends that hadn't done law school, I didn't really get the support that I felt like I needed. And I don't know if it's anybody's fault necessarily, because I had a hard time kind of reaching out and asking for help, but I felt really, really alone for the month of August, really unlike myself. I just really struggled. And I also started a job that was a horrible mistake and ended up being very short-lived, and I started at a firm that no longer really exists. And it just was sort of, everything was falling apart, like kind of right as I started. Like I was the last new person to start, and then everything kind of collapsed, and none of the coworkers that I worked with during that period are employed by that firm anymore. So just kind of some bad luck with the job thing. But the question was, what did you focus on as summer ended and routine returned? My routine did not return because I had been in school for so long, and I think what was hard for me is all of that was over, but you know, I had no idea if I'd passed the bar, so it was really hard to like be in a good headspace about the future, because I was constantly worrying about, am I gonna have to do this again, etc. So we can move on from that, but that's kind of where I was at after taking the bar. So next is number 9. Number 9, September. Did you set any new goals or priorities for the final quarter? Guys, should LaCroix sponsor me? Okay, so one big thing that was really important to me was to start taking better care of myself, specifically through my diet, and to just be more intentional with cooking meals and, you know, cleaning my space, and just, you know, hygiene wise. Like, any of you that have struggled with mental health and that have struggled with kind of being in a depression and like really being in like a deep funk, it's really hard to have energy or like remember to take care of yourself. It feels like a huge chore, and that was something I knew that I really needed to work on. It's something I'm still kind of working through, to be honest, of just like being kind to myself and taking care of the things that I need to feel comfort and safety in my space and in my body. I will also say in September I found out that I did in fact pass the bar exam, and that I was going to become a licensed attorney. So there's my resolution number 2 for the year, is pass the bar exam. Well, I guess number 2 was take the bar, and 3 was to pass. So I did in fact pass the bar exam. I actually got some comments on videos asking if I'd passed the bar, which I really appreciate, and yes, I did pass the bar on the first try. So I was really proud of myself, and I really felt like the hard work paid off. A lot of you guys know this too, but I had a really, really hard time in law school. I actually finished like in the bottom 10% of my class. And so on paper, statistically, I did not seem like someone who would pass the bar on the first try. Oh my gosh. My cats are being so needy. So it was just like a really, getting to call my family members and friends and tell them that I passed was just like a really huge moment for me. It was really bittersweet, and it was really emotional for me in a lot of ways, which I won't go into like super detail on at this time. Happy to if you guys would like, but it was bittersweet. There was some sadness, not about having passed the bar, but just, it's really hard to describe, I guess, the like emotional journey that I've been on for the past few years, sort of just like chasing this thing. But I just wanted to kind of find a good job and just start feeling good about myself again, and that was just sort of like the place I was in. Number 10, how did you embrace creativity or change this month? So October. How did you embrace creativity or change? Lots of changes in October. So big resolution number 4, I was sworn into my state bar in October. So I became officially a licensed attorney in October of this year. And I started a new job, which is the job I'm currently at, working for a firm doing Social Security disability law. I don't work for the government, I work for a firm, so I'm getting I'm advocating for my clients and trying to get Social Security disability for them. So I'm trying to get them to be declared disabled and to receive disability benefits. I work remotely, and it's like federal law, so I have clients from all different states. So that's what I'm doing currently. So that was a huge change of just like starting that and kind of learning and getting into a new routine and just sort of starting that phase of my life. So yeah, as far as creativity, I obviously wasn't making videos, but I'm trying to think if I was creating anything. I did start coloring a lot, like while I would watch TV, so that I was doing something with my hands that didn't involve being on my phone. So I was doing that and just sort of like watching a lot of movies, but I'm always watching a lot of movies, but even more so. And of course it was Halloween, so I celebrated Halloween and I carved a jack-o'-lantern and, you know, I did those kind of creative things. Oh my gosh, I forgot to say, I think I talked about this in a previous video, but I broke my tailbone this summer. I think I talked about this. Technically it was my sacrum. I cracked my sacrum. And so I spent about 3 months healing from that and using like a special butt cushion and heat and ice and tiger balm, and it was gnarly, and I was healing that while I was spending 12 hours a day sitting studying for the bar. It was a horrible experience. Do not recommend cracking your sacrum. So sometimes I still have like a little bit of lingering pain from that, so, but it's healed anyways. I just thought of that. Number 11. We're almost done, guys. If you're still with me, comment. If you're still with me, comment what you dressed up as for Halloween, because I love Halloween. I still have my Halloween decorations up, if you can tell. That's a whole other thing, but let me know what you dressed up as for Halloween. Number 11. What were you most grateful for in November? Okay, this is huge, guys. I am so full of gratitude this year. I have been completely blessed with the best support system. I have some amazing, incredible friends. I have some amazing family. Like, I have a couple specific individuals in my life that have really gotten me through this year, especially the past few months. And I just really felt that love in November. I really felt connected to so many people and, kind of connected to myself and to my own needs. And I felt grateful for my education and grateful for my opportunities. And that was just like a really big theme this year and something I'm trying to be more cognizant of. And I think we can all stand to be more cognizant of, all of the great things in our lives. And, not to invalidate anybody's experiences or anyone's pain, but like, there are always positives in every situation. And I can definitely stand to be better about recognizing those positives. So it's something I'm trying to be just more, aware of. And last and currently, number 12, December. How are you closing the year? What are you celebrating or reflecting on? It's been a really hard year. It's been a really big year. Lots of high highs and lots of very low lows for me. I've been exercising a lot. I've been moving my body, and that's been bringing a lot of positivity to my brain, and also just like an awareness and a gratefulness of like, look what I can do with my body. I am not happy with my job, and I'm not really happy with how things are going professionally, or where my headspace is necessarily. So I'm really just sort of reflecting on what's important and trying to remember my why. Trying to remember and keep being aware of why I went to law school, what I saw for myself, why I wanted to be an attorney, why I wanted to be an advocate. And so that's just something I'm really thinking of. And as I'm, potentially pursuing a new role and trying to figure out how I really want to be in my career and where I want to go and what I want to do, I'm just trying to think about what's going to make me feel good and what's going to feed my soul, as silly as that might sound. Because, we have these sort of ideas of grandeur, and we have these sort of illusions of what life could be like and what this job's going to be like, and if only I accomplish this, then I'll feel like this. And that's just not how it works. And I'm really realizing that this year. I've made a lot of those sort of connections and realizations, and I just want to find something. I don't need to be in love with my job. I just don't want to feel dread in the mornings. And I want to feel like I want to get to a place where I feel like it was worth it to go through all of law school and bar prep and all of those things, and the financial commitment, and the time commitment, and the mental health strain, and the energy. And I just want to get to a place where I just feel like myself, and I just feel good about what I'm doing, in relationships, in my career, in just sort of where I'm going and who I'm becoming. And that's it. That's what I'm reflecting on at the end of this year. I'm really grateful. I really want to start being more present on this channel, no matter what discomforts I feel, or sometimes I feel uncomfortable with things that I share, and then I think, oh, well, anybody can watch this because it's YouTube and it's public, and I don't want that to hinder me from connecting with you guys, and from speaking my mind, and from speaking what feels true to me. So that's 2024. I hope to put out one more video before the end of this year. Again, I want to talk about movies and things, but if there's anything I talked about in this video that resonates with you, or that you want to hear more about, please let me know down below. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you that have been here and that have been cheering me on and asking how I've been, it just brightens my day, and it really means the world to me. So I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I hope that this was relaxing or enjoyable to you in some way, and thanks for connecting with me on the internet. I hope you guys are staying safe, happy, and healthy, and I will see you guys next time.